I'm Cookie with Wordy Nerd, and it's time for another favorites! Yay! This one's an interesting one. This author that I'm going to be showing his book is actually a sci-fi fantasy fiction writer, but he had this book, Your Hate Mail Will Be Graded, A Decade of Whatever, and it was based on like internet blogs and trolls. Oh gosh, this book there's serious parts to this book, but there are some parts that are so hysterical, and I do like to laugh, I won't lie. So this is John Scalzi. He wrote Old Man's War, which it will be probably one of my other favorites because that book was excellent. So let's sort of 2 for 1 that one. So if you like that sort of genre, and you haven't read Old Man's War, go buy it. It is kind of, in essence, it has the essence of Ender's Game, but it's using older people who get something done to them. I can't really explain it because that's like somewhat of a, not a spoiler, but I think that it's part of the adventure with it to see what happens to them. So it's the Old Man's War. So you can figure that out. But this one is his little musings and emails and that sort. And there was one story in here, I was reading this a couple years ago over my lunch break. Just randomly picked it up at Borders. Used to be right where I used to eat lunch, so you can see what happened. Borders, grab a book, go grab lunch, sit and eat, go back to work. So I picked this one up mostly because I like the cover. I like the typography of it. Will Wheaton did the foreword. It was funny. But there was one scene that was, oh my god, I laughed. Here, imagine this. I'll set the scene. I'm at Panera, and I'm reading this book by myself over my lunch break, and I hit this one part that is just so funny. And I don't know about you guys, but I cannot hold in when I have to laugh or cry or whatever. I'm a very emotive person. So I'm sitting there eating my lunch by myself, and I get to this one part, and it is so funny that I like have to put the book down, and you know the laughing that you get where you're like crying and you're like holding your eyes like, oh my god. Yeah. Me in public, this book. So for that moment in time alone, it is one of my favorites because that one section was so hysterical. And there are serious parts. It's not all funny. So it's sort of like this nice little roller coaster ride. Similar to, oh, when was it? In the 90s, Paul, what is his name? Rise? What was his name? He had a book, Parenthood. He was in Mad About You. Why can't I think of his name? Paul Reisner? Oh god, that's gonna drive me nuts. Anyway, his book sort of was like that funny, serious. That's gonna drive me nuts. That was a funny book too. But this one is so good. But you can get the gist of this in the cover where it says, it just says part of the part. I think that was the part I was laughing at. And it says, I'm sorry, I lost interest in your message after the first paragraph and couldn't be bothered to finish it. And then it just spirals into hilarity, and it was just a good, quick read. And what I liked about it, it was little tiny sections according to the date. I think it was on his website. I can't remember. I read this a long time ago. But it does little clip bits, so quick bits. That's tricky for my tongue today. So you can read it over lunch or, you know, on the train or what have you. Alright guys, I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye. The evolution of your line need no, I cannot read out loud today.